Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. In today's video, we are doing a reading and energy update for our beautiful collective here on YouTube. So I am still coming to you from Hawaii, and I am going to be starting off today by shuffling the cards to try and tap into the energy and see whatever wants to come through this reading video. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sharing your light and energy with this reading today. Now, this is one of those reading videos where I don't really have a strong sense of how the reading is going to unfold. So I'm simply going to shuffle some of the cards and see what wants to come through. And if you do hear me taking some sips of my coffee in the background, that is what that is, because I do have my coffee here beside me. But let's go ahead and see what wants to come up today. Okay, so the first card is the star that's coming out here. The number 17 may be significant to someone. I'm getting a message about pulling back into your own energy for the purpose of some kind of deeper rejuvenation and recalibration. I'm definitely picking up on a person here who tends to really feel realigned when they are in their own energy. And it seems that for this person, whenever you are around a lot of stimulating environments, people, or situations, even if those things may be inherently positive or neutral on the surface, it can still have this effect of kind of clouding your energy in a way where you begin to feel this need to pull back into yourself. And simply, I'm getting the image of someone who is it's like I'm seeing water and I'm seeing someone going underwater, but the water that they're immersing themselves in is metaphorically their own energy. So there's something about immersing in your own energy that is actually very beneficial for you. And I feel that this is the case regardless of who or what you are connecting with. I feel that it's really your own energy that recharges you in some kind of way. And so maybe someone lately has been feeling really guided to do that. I'm also getting there may actually be some collective energies happening on the planet right now that have made you feel more of a need to pull back into your own energy in this way and to recharge and regroup yourself, almost like refreshing your system. I'm hearing for someone like nothing is going wrong. You just need to have a little time immersing in your own energy. So for someone listening, maybe you've been feeling frazzled or out of sorts or not quite like yourself. And if that is the case, I'm getting that nothing is really going wrong within you. It's simply that you are being really intuitively guided, intuitively meaning your own body's intuition, your own energy system's intuition, intuitively guided to really pull back into yourself. Now, for some of you, there may even be certain specific people, things, or environments that you are pulling back from, because in the mini reading that I just channeled yesterday, we discussed a certain person or thing in your life that may actually be subconsciously siphoning your energy, that you may be noticing that after you connect with that person or thing, you start to feel almost this negative effect from that might not really make sense to you consciously, because on the surface, it could look like a very positive transaction or interaction or whatever this thing or person is for you. But then beneath the surface, there's some kind of draining impact that it's having on you. So maybe you'll feel guided to check out that other reading if this one resonates for you. But let me go ahead and reshuffle the cards here. And I actually want to know what is happening collectively on the planet that may be making you feel like you have to pull back into your own energy. I heard something about chaos and division, but I'm getting a message that chaos and division is one reality happening. It's one paradigm. But for many people, it's the dominant paradigm happening on the planet. So there's one perspective of division and chaos, and there's a much less walked pathway with the Two of Wands. I see like two pathways opening up here. And that one pathway is like the division and the chaos. But the far less walked pathway is a perspective of unity and alignment and joy and interconnectedness. And so what I'm getting is that you are feeling these two pathways, which really is the division between the 3D and the 5D, the 3D being the division and the chaos, and the 5D being the unity and the harmony and the interconnectedness and the abundance mentality. So we're seeing this play out on the planet in real time, where people are choosing the path that they are walking based on the perspective, the paradigm that they have. The thing is that most people don't even realize that they have a paradigm because it's so natural to them. They think that that is the only reality that they can experience because they don't know that a reality of harmony and peace and unity, consciousness and abundance and happiness is available to them. And I'm getting that you have been upgraded or promoted in a sense to this higher level spiritual role where you are meant to be showing that higher pathway, where you are showing others on the planet that it's possible to live in this reality of abundance and joy and love and connectedness. But you also are very empathic. So at the same time, you have an awareness that many people on the planet are walking a very different pathway. And so sometimes the reason you feel the need to pull back into your own energy is like, I'm seeing someone cleaning a glasses lens. And what I see that representing is you clarifying to yourself internally what kind of perspective you want to have for yourself in this world, which of course in this case is that perspective of love and happiness and unity and all of those things. So you're clarifying that perspective for yourself whenever you pull back into your own energy and immerse in your own frequency, often through solitude, through simply just being alone. And I'm seeing someone who's even just resting, even watching maybe a show or reading a book or browsing your phone or doing whatever you're doing, but you're doing it in solitude and in your own energy. And as a result of that, it's naturally allowing you to raise your vibration because you are the higher vibration. It's like your own vibration is cleansing to you because you carry this naturally high vibrational energy. And it's very important for you to prioritize that kind of time, that solitude, because at this time on the planet, we are definitely seeing two different perspectives, two different paradigms, two different pathways playing out in a very big way. And you have both, on the one hand, an awareness of and a sensitivity to the path that many are choosing that is one of division and chaos, while at the same time holding the higher energy of abundance and love and all of those things. And that is a very complicating position to be in because you are holding both perspectives at once. You are holding like a knowingness of, and even a feeling at times of what so many others are experiencing on the planet, while at the same time also embodying this higher reality and this higher energy and frequency. So I'm just getting it's very important for you to choose the kind of lens you're going to be seeing the world through, for you to choose the kind of reality that you want to connect with. Because you get to make that choice internally from within yourself. You are just that powerful. You are the alchemist of your life. And I'm picking up on an empath here, someone who's always been very highly sensitive and attuned to others, who is finally fully reclaiming their power to create their life for themselves. I'm hearing the one who was always tending to the needs of others, who is always so sensitive and attuned to others, is finally attuning to themselves, tuning their frequency to the dream reality that they themselves want to experience instead of attuning to others, who often would end up siphoning their energy to uplift themselves. This is all represented by the Nine of Pentacles card here, which represents wish fulfillment, you connecting with your dream timeline, thriving. There's something though about, there is a divine feminine coming through here. I don't always use the labels divine feminine and divine masculine in these readings, but that's coming up here very strongly. So I may include that in the title of this video as well. And as we progress here, I may try to pull through some messages for the divine masculine as well. But what I'm getting is that there is a divine feminine here, which I should also say we all have a balance internally of both energies, the masculine and the feminine, although we do tend to carry a more dominant polarity of one or the other. So always use your intuition and only take what resonates from those labels and the messages that come from there. But what I'm getting is that there is a divine feminine here who is walking a path of solitude, is what I'm hearing. And what I'm getting is that life on planet Earth for this specific divine feminine is very complex, specifically when it comes to community, dating, romance, and social interactions, so interpersonal relationships. The reason for this is because you, as this divine feminine, are part of that group we were talking about earlier that recharges in their own energy. So you recharge in your own essence, in your own energy. And what I'm getting is you are here as a beacon and as an activator in this planet. And everything that you do is very much intertwined with your internal world, with the energy that you're cultivating within yourself. And every single person you bring into your life, everyone you connect with, affects that internal energetic ecosystem. And it's a very delicate balance. So what I'm getting is that the reason you are walking this path of solitude, the reason I'm hearing that you've never really felt like you could put down roots anywhere or with any specific group of friends or a specific community or even a job or a location. I'm getting a divine feminine who's very transient, who tends to move around from place to place. There's a very nomadic energy coming through here, where you most likely feel very resistant to the idea of being tied down or locked in to any one specific friend group or community or place or job, or maybe even like any relationship, or maybe you've been resistant to traditional ideas of marriage or like long-term romantic relationships. That may not be for everyone. But the reason that you've been this way hasn't been because you've just been like rebelling for the sake of rebelling, or that there's something wrong with you. Although I feel that you've had people try to gaslight you into believing that there's something wrong with you for being so independent, for being so lit up in your own solitude and being drawn to freedom and a more nomadic lifestyle, both maybe literally if you do move around a lot on the planet, but definitely spiritually. You are a spiritual nomad. So you seem to spiritually travel from place to place. I'm hearing from timeline to timeline, from dimension to dimension. And beyond that, you also spend a lot of your time in the fifth dimensional realm. So yes, you are here physically in the 3D, but so much of you is exploring the cosmos, exploring the astral realm, exploring the spiritual realm in ways that are at times very subconscious. They may happen when you're sleeping, or just when you're daydreaming, or when you're resting even, because we talked about the value of even just letting yourself rest in your own space, in your solitude, in your energy, even if that looks like an active form of rest, like watching a show or a movie or reading a book or listening to music or going for a walk. But doing those things in solitude, in the presence of your own energy, in the absence of distractions or external energies, allows you to be cleared energetically in a different kind of way. But also in those times, you are often unconsciously exploring the spiritual realm, putting things together in the energy field, working in the 5D, so to speak. So because of that, your soul has been very resistant to being tied down, to any one particular person or group or anything like that, maybe even location. The reason for this being, you know that you have a magnetism about you. You know that people tend to be drawn to you and become dependent on your energy without even realizing that they're doing it because of how magnetic you are. It's very easy in a way to become hooked on your energy because it is so beneficial to others, because it is so radiant and magnetic and has this naturally uplifting effect on others. I mean, who wouldn't want to be around that kind of energy and presence that you carry? But the downside of that is it can be very difficult for you because you can almost begin to feel too settled somewhere or too grounded or too locked in. And I'm getting a message that this isn't because you are being avoidant, even though you may have been told that from other people, or you may have wondered at times, like, am I just avoiding friendship or avoiding connection or commitment or settling down somewhere? It's not that you're avoiding staying in a place or a connection or with a group long term. It's that you are committed first to your own freedom and to your soul's mission, which is to embody that freedom and to teach that freedom to others. And so whenever you start trying to artificially lock yourself into a timeline, a place, a person that is in some way becoming dependent on your energy and therefore maybe siphoning it from you in subtle ways, it feels so resistant to you energetically and off to you because you're literally going contrary of your soul's mission, which is to be this profound example of freedom and of one who is completely untethered but completely connected to their own inner self. And so I don't know why all of this is coming up lately, but I feel like there's been a divine feminine who's been thinking about this recently. I also got the word gardening for someone. And I feel that part of what could be going on here with the Queen of Wands reversed and the Fool card is that there could be someone here who has been trying to impose their way of doing things onto you, like their morals in a way, their version of reality, what they believe is the correct way of doing life. Now, this could just be society generally, like projecting its ideas onto you of what your life needs to look like as a feminine energy, or for many of you as a woman, although you don't have to be a woman. If you are a divine feminine, you could be a man as well. But for many of you, as a woman, you are feeling the pressure from society or from another person or group to conform to their concept of what your life should look like or what you should be. But giving into that pressure would be so contrary to what your soul actually came here to do and to be and to embody. I'm also hearing something about how you are fulfilling and manifesting every single dream that you've ever had for yourself, even the unconscious ones. But the thing about that is, yes, all of those dreams are going to be manifested. However, it's going to happen in your own way and in your own time. Your timing and your methods are not going to look like anyone else's. And I feel this divine feminine coming up against pressure, either from another person or group or family members or society generally, like trying to get you to compromise on your own timing or your own, I'm hearing, pattern, your own way of doing things, your own way of creating. You're coming up here as the Fool, which is one who is free and full of adventure and willing to jump into a new beginning when their soul is calling them to that new beginning. I feel like that is your energy, but you have people who are perceiving you as foolish or projecting that onto you because your spontaneity and your freedom triggers their binds, so to speak, like the way that they are still bound to particular obligations or timelines or things that their soul may not even want to be bound to. And so seeing you living in such freedom naturally triggers them to have a heightened awareness of their own cage in a way. So I don't know if there's someone literally coming up against some of this right now, but we also have the Two of Cups in the upright position. So yeah, specifically for a divine feminine here, I feel like one area where things in your life have felt very out of sorts or where you've been feeling a lot of external pressure may be in love and romance. And specifically, you may be in this position of wondering, like, when am I going to completely align with a partner, a divine masculine who can meet me in my power and who can rise to connect with me at this level. And I'm getting a very important message that if this part of the reading is for you, which it won't be for everyone, but if it's for you, there's a message from your guides. Do not settle. Remain fully committed to yourself and do not settle for something that feels like settling. If it feels as though you are compromising on what you truly desire, or someone is checking all of the boxes, but it doesn't feel quite right to your soul, or for whatever reason, your soul can't settle there, trust your intuition to guide you in your love life. And when it comes to manifesting this divine union in your life, because I do see that divine union being one of the powerful manifestations that is coming into your life. But just like I mentioned earlier, that is going to be happening in your own way and in your own timing. I feel that I'm picking up on a very specific divine feminine just right here in this part of the reading. This may just be for a few people, but there's a divine feminine here who's been feeling as though their soul has never been able to settle with a specific masculine energy. It feels as though you're constantly pulled back to your own solitude or independence. And you may be wondering to yourself, will that ever change? Will I ever connect with a divine masculine in the physical that makes me feel as good around them as I feel in my own energy long term? Because I feel like that's the thing for this divine feminine. You may temporarily have beautiful moments in love or romance, but long term, I'm speaking to a divine feminine who always tends to feel the most comfortable and happy and fulfilled and radiant in their own energy. And I'm getting a very strong message that the right person, your divine union partner, this divine masculine who is really meeting you at your level, will not diminish you. They will actually amplify you. And that is how you will recognize them, because it won't be in the specific things that they do or say, although of course, being aware of how they're showing up in the physical is very important. And it's been a major lesson that many divine feminines have learned recently, to be sure that people in their lives, including in a romantic context, are showing up for them and putting action in the physical realm, not just in the 5D or the spiritual realm. However, I'm getting that it will go deeper than that with your divine union partner. You will feel as though you are being supported spiritually and energetically as well. You will naturally feel more inspired around them and after connecting with them, rather than feeling disconnected or depleted. You will feel more connected to your spirit, to your soul, to the spiritual realm, to your own gifts, rather than feeling more of a disconnection from those gifts and those abilities and those parts of yourself, because they will provide a kind of secure container that doesn't feel like a wall, that doesn't feel like a limiter, but feels like support that you can then feel supported by as you grow within it. And a message that was coming through was about whether a wall was keeping something out or keeping someone in. And so this was a very interesting thought to me, because the more that I've thought about this concept, the more I've realized how much this applies to what so many in the collective may be experiencing at this time. Because what I'm getting is that for many in the collective, there is this sense that there are certain things in your life that have kept you in a way, that have kept you feeling safe or feeling as though there is some level of security, or it's blocking out certain maybe unwanted things or experiences. And yet I feel you becoming restless within those walls that once felt like security. And there is this desire from the soul to like break down the barriers and to expand. Now, for some of you, this may be a person or a social group or something in your life that once provided this sense of protection or security or safety or comfort, but is now becoming a wall, meaning it's feeling like it's actually becoming a limiter on your own growth and expansion. or becoming something that is actually holding you back from being like wild and free and spontaneous and fully maximizing your potential as a soul here on earth. And only you can know what that is for you or how that feels to you, whether it does feel more like comfort and safety or whether it feels more like a wall that is blocking you from accessing your highest potential. So I don't know who that message specifically is for, but I'm hearing something to meditate on, and I got the Hermit card. So for someone listening, maybe it would be a useful exercise to simply quiet your mind and to go within and to allow yourself to meditate on the idea of what in your life could potentially be a wall, whether it's protecting you or comforting you, or whether it's actually blocking or inhibiting you in some way. And I'm seeing someone journaling and specifically using automatic writing to kind of get to the core of maybe what that answer is for them. So that could be a beneficial activity for someone. But I am going to reshuffle the cards here. And there's one more energy for you, Divine Feminine, that I really want to channel into before we speak to the Divine Masculine side of things, which of course, the Divine Masculine messages may also resonate for you since we have that energy within us as well. And if you would like to continue on with me after this to the extended version, which should be the place where we talk about the Divine Masculine messages, then the link to listen to that and also any other information that wants to come through this reading is in the pinned comment and description box below. And you can get that extended reading either through YouTube memberships or Patreon, just depending on your personal preference. So I have one more energy thread that keeps emerging for a Divine Feminine. And this is a masculine who you seem to have connected with recently, either spiritually, emotionally, or energetically. It's interesting because I meant to say physically, but that didn't come through. So maybe the message is that this is someone who's been spiritually or psychically connecting with you that you haven't had much of a physical connection with, or maybe there's been no physical connection with them, just depending on your circumstances. So I feel that in this part of the reading, I'm going to be speaking to a very specific group. And I don't know who that group is going to be, but I'm going to go ahead and shuffle the cards and tap into this and just see what wants to come through for you. Because the thing about this masculine is they are very persistent. So it's almost like they're continuously knocking on the door of your energy. And so how that translates for me is that very likely this is someone that you've felt stuck on, that you've not been able to get off of your mind recently or let go of, or maybe it's someone from your past who's been just like coming back into your mind continuously. So let's go ahead and channel into that after I take a quick sip of my coffee here. It's interesting. The wind is really picking up where I am right now. I feel like it's really setting a little bit of a mood or a vibe for the reading. So, who is this masculine persistently knocking on the door of your energy? Woman holding a coin in the reverse position. This is someone who I'm hearing, it's not about your appearance, it's about your energy. So while this is someone who is physically attracted to you, what they're really unable to forget about you is your energy, your essence. I'm seeing a crown, so this person may feel like you are like a queen or a princess, or they want to treat you that way. That could come through for someone. Or they just revere you. There's this sense of being in awe of you in the way that someone would be if they entered a throne room of a queen or something like that. With the anxiety card and the world card reversed, this is someone who is feeling very worried about something in regards to you. And I feel like it has to do with them worried that they missed a window of opportunity with you or missed some kind of chance with you. And they've been really, really stuck on thinking about that or worrying about that. Yeah, there's a perseverance here with the Seven of Wands. This is someone I'm hearing very determined to connect with you, or very determined to be in your life, I'm hearing to force the hand of fate. I'm not sure what that means, but with the Wheel of Fortune, yeah, with the Three of Pentacles and Wheel of Fortune, I feel like someone is trying to force a meeting with you, that it's almost like force a window of opportunity with you, force fate's hand in some kind of way. So they feel like they missed a window or they missed some kind of chance, but now they're trying to force the hand of fate by being so determined and focused on you and heavily trying to manifest some kind of opportunity to what? I'm hearing to tell you something, to exchange something with you. We have the Nine of Cups. Yeah, this is someone in the Four of Wands who feels like you are their ultimate wish fulfillment. They come from your soul family. With the Four of Wands, I'm very strongly getting soul family energy. And I feel that you and this masculine are meant to exchange something with each other that was never exchanged because they missed their initial window of opportunity. And I'm hearing something about out of sight, but not out of mind. And I'm also getting something about how you may have given this person a chance or an opportunity, but then walked away when they didn't take it, or you gave it some space, or you pulled back. And they're replaying that moment a lot in their mind. And again, it's like now they are trying to force the hand of fate to regain a new opportunity with you here. And I'm getting that you and this person's soul are restless for each other because you have something to exchange with each other that was never exchanged. And I feel that you actually could pick up on that initially when you gave this person a window of opportunity. I feel like you dropped some kind of hint, or you may have approached them, or you messaged them, or you dropped a signal, or I feel like you gave a chance to this person where they could seize a moment, but they didn't take that opportunity. And now they are replaying that moment over and over. And you're both still feeling this restlessness for each other because there's something that your souls were meant to exchange, which is why you approached them or gave them this chance to begin with. Because, I mean, you could sense, of course, being even the more intuitively connected one here, that there was something that the two of you were meant to exchange with each other that you never did. And now it's like there's this feeling of unfinished business sort of hanging in the air between the two of you. And this person is very much in their feelings about you with the King of Cups and stuck on you. I'm getting that they thought time would make this fade. So maybe some time has passed since this interaction or this exchange, but time has only made their feelings for you grow. I'm hearing more like a fire, grow stronger and more restless. So I'm going to continue this on to the extended reading, and we're going to talk about what the two of you are meant to exchange with each other that hasn't yet been exchanged, as well as what the futuristic timeline potentials look like for this situation, how things could potentially unfold moving into the future, and anyone else that is connected to your energy right now, Divine Feminine. So all of that information for the extended reading is in the pinned comment and description box underneath this video if you're interested. Otherwise, I'm going to close the reading here. Have a beautiful day. Be sure to subscribe if this reading connected for you, and I will talk to you here again in the next video.